2010, right around there, I was in New York and I was meeting with Craig Kalman and his merchandise manager, Matt Young. And sometimes when you go to an opportunity, and sometimes when people tell you no, you got to have some resilience, some perseverance, and just kind of push through. And sometimes you just got to make it your own. Over weeks and weeks and weeks of time, he was like, yo, it's just not good enough. It's just not good enough. I'm like, screw it. Screw you. Screw New York. Matter of fact, I'm about to create my own thing. And when I come back to Iowa, I'm taking over Iowa. And ever since that day, I did that. And so the initial name came from blue collar, which was like something that represented the Midwest as a way to say F New York. Andre Wright is a father of 3, devoted husband, creative type, someone who has a lot of passion for what he does. He's a leader, an inspiration, a beacon of hope to some. He's a funny guy.
I'm about to send out that first look, man. I'm gonna stay here because I want to see how this first look. I hope it's super dope because I don't know. They've been talking about it in the back, but let me see what they got, man. Bring that first look out. Let me see what's going on.
He's left-handed. Andre Wright has always been someone that's been very special to a lot of different people in different various walks of life.
Although I'm an entrepreneur, I like to help people. So these are some of our designers. I got Zach Owens, he was with Fresh Boy. Give it up to him. He made them fresh jackets. I got Jasper with One Love. Holla at him. Give it up for him.
If I was to show you some of my old pictures of me when I was young, you would say, wow, you would think that I would have had a lot, but I didn't. I didn't have a whole lot. Them saying, let's see what he's gonna do. We done told him no 50 times. Is he gonna quit or is he gonna keep it going? Well, I kept it going, and I'm keeping it going till the wheels fall off. My goal is to for one, take over Iowa. Like as far as streetwear, fashion design, I'm claiming a throne, and you're gonna have to like come off with my head before I like let go of it. The whole New York thing happened, I was like, oh, that's it. I'm about to become a fashion designer. And overnight, I started creating myself and mentally putting myself, I started studying, like self-taught, like studying the skills, what it took to be a fashion. I learned about textiles and this type of ink and like this cutting method, this cut and sew method, all these different things that would help me become who I am today.
I knew I wanted to do pencil skirts. I knew that was my starting point. That's what I wanted to focus on. So how could I come up with a name that kind of tied into that? And so I'm like a spreadsheet nerd. So I like built this spreadsheet, like came up with all these different possible name combinations. And then of course, as I'm going to bed one night, the name Written came into my head. I'm like, let's explore that a little bit more. We specialize in high quality, unique pencil skirts and have recently branched into t-shirts as well. So the New Perspective collaboration is something that Andre and I kind of came up with. We have similar messaging, I think. You know, we're both creating and designing for leaders or, you know, fearless people out there paving their own paths in the world, and so we thought, why not join forces and create something amazing for these people and give them a new perspective, you know, not just Written or Blue, you know, a combination of both of our strengths and weaknesses, and hopefully that comes out well received. Always loved fashion ever since I was a little girl. It for me was a way to express myself. I'm kind of what I like to say, the walking juxtaposition of both bold and shy. The Written woman is out every day, paving her path, writing her story in life, no matter what her focus is. Like, she has her eye on the prize and she's gonna make it happen no matter what. I'm collaborating with Andre because I've known him long enough. I see it being a good partnership.
We were initially beginning to create something awesome. I mean, first of all, we were just gonna go to New York Fashion Week. We were just gonna go and like experience it and like really just breathe it all in. But you know, with us being very creative, we were like, why don't we just collaborate on some pieces and like make something great. And she just has an awesome energy. She brings a lot to the table. She's very constructive when it comes to creating stuff. I'm very more loose, and I'm very open. So it's a really great relationship when it comes to like creating something that's dynamic and powerful. The work that I've done has been very passionate, very different, very, very unique. All the shows have a theme. I mean, everything is just like real aggressive and real entertaining, and it's real, like, it's totally me. Like, so when people support Born Leaders United, they definitely support a piece of me and my family, and like everything that we have and aspects that we bring to the world, from a design standpoint, from a personality, from a lifestyle standpoint. Good style means being yourself, being authentic, waking up and just being who you are. It doesn't mean looking like somebody else. It doesn't mean posing. It means just being like you. And your clothes say a whole lot about you. So like the way you dress them, the way you put, accessorize them, the way you put things together, says a whole lot about who you are as a person, your characteristics. I think just being authentic is the best style that you can have. That's the best style.
And so the very first pencil skirt that I designed actually came about because I had this dress and I wanted to cut it in half, and I wanted to make the lower part pencil skirt and then the upper part like a crop top that coordinated with the pencil skirt. And so I worked with a seamstress, had that done, and then one of my friends at the time tried it on and she loved it. I get questioned on the fact that I'm focusing on one design, one style of the pencil skirt. And I've had a lot of pushback on, can you just start with one thing? Are you a one-trick pony? And I'm like, well, no, that's, my long-term vision is to expand into other products. But to get my foot in the door, I wanted to start with something that I thought was powerful and meaningful, and that was the pencil skirt for me. So I'm going there with the written apparel line. One of my mentors, Justin Kerr, has offered up his loft so that we can do a trunk show. I'm sending out emails to bloggers, stylists, buyers, press, literally anyone and everyone that I can find their name and email or some way to contact them to try to get them there and get in front of them. So doing that, and then I have a meeting with the manufacturer I use here. So Riley, since you were into the design part and wanted more experience with that would probably be interesting for you. So doing that, and then I have a couple fabric places I need to go to while we're out in the garment district. I have scheduled until 6:30. I have the meeting with Iman with Sway Media, and then at some point we'll move into our new hotel. We'll just all space in the back.
That'd be a better way to transport this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's called hire someone.
That's what I'm here for.
Justin Kerr, ironically, I met him at Witching Hour Festival. I was wearing an LA Dodgers hat, and he's like, why are you wearing an LA hat? I'm like, I don't know, I liked it. And so from there, it's like, what are you doing? What's your story? And I kind of fumbled over the words. And obviously probably didn't impress him with what I had to say very much. But he kind of gave me some tips on that, and we stayed in contact. And he's, you know, been very selfless in offering up mentorship and advice through this whole journey.
I got introduced to her, and she said she wanted to start a fashion brand. I think at the time the brand had a different name. I can't remember what it was called, but I told her, I don't like that name, it's super confusing to me. And so I think we kind of hit it off because my first reaction was not just to say nice things and walk away, but kind of get to know what she wanted to do. And so we've stayed in touch now for almost 2 years since she got started with Apparel. And it's been really exciting to watch her go through all the ups and downs and kind of keep building towards what I think is an exciting moment for her. I mean, a pop-up show in New York City during Fashion Week, serving champagne, lots of people here, authentic old artist loft. I mean, this is the stuff dreams are made.
With a single focus of a concept and of a design belief, that Emily has a terrific idea, and she certainly has the looks and the concept in her styling that that can be attractive to many, many people, and it's the right look at the right time, I think.
I'm Dr. Arthur Winters, and I'm Professor Emeritus of the Fashion Institute of Technology. A couple of myself and colleagues decided there should be a college of some sort that could teach fashion in so many different ways, because it was what you might call an occupation that had many, many different parts. And so we got together and we thought maybe we could start something, like the Fashion Institute of Technology. An Institute of Technology, with the word fashion, F-I-T, not M-I-T, but F-I-T, could work. And as a matter of fact, we got together and we decided to create the Fashion Institute of Technology. And we did our first teaching in a high school of fashion industries on 24th Street off 7th Avenue in New York City.
Get my hair off my back so anyone walking by can see that website on the back of the t-shirt. So we're going to Trim Lab, which is where I source all the zippers, and they have various trims, but right now I just source my zippers from them. And I met Dave with Trim Lab a couple years ago at a trade show, and I just was doing what I always do and walking up to people and asking questions. And I was looking for a satin tape zipper, and no one had them. I asked him about it. He's like, yeah, we have them. Come see me tomorrow at, X address. So I went there, and he kind of gave me the tour, showed me everything they do, and he had mentioned something about similarity between myself and Liz Claiborne, who actually used to shop from him too. So it was like, when you hear names like that, for me, I feel like I'm going to the right place.
We ran a little low on room. Felix is now moving over. We had a little off-site space. We're trying to fit everything in here. So we have literally like 1 million zippers here. No. It's the oldest wholesale trim company surviving in the United States. Traced back to 1897. It started as a push cart on the Lower East Side. So it's got a long history. What we try to do with Trim Lab is put together a bunch of companies, work with emerging designers like Retton, and hopefully some of these people really take off and end up becoming big companies. And at that point, it works out great for us and it works out great for them. We're there at the beginning, and hopefully they stick with us the whole time.
Let's say they can't write about it today, but something comes up in a month where they want to do an article about pencil skirts, but then they don't have other designs to pull from, and they're like, oh yeah, I met with Emily from Written and I have a sample with me already. So it's much easier for them to talk about it when they have it and they can just describe it versus like reaching back to you, then you have to send a sample. I just think it's always good. you have to research ahead of time what they've written about before. You can't look scared or like intimidated, because that's when they will like sense their fear. It's like dogs.
I know.
They're like, they sense your fear and they're like, oh, she's intimidated. Let me be more of a mean person.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Spencer James. I'm 23 years old from Iowa City, Iowa. I randomly got scouted to model when I was attending the University of Iowa. You know, when you're from Iowa, that's not ever something you really think could happen. It just doesn't really seem real, being that far deep in the Midwest. But yeah, a few years ago, I moved out to Los Angeles, got my start, and it's really introduced me to the fashion world. I've been now I'm living in New York, and it's really opened my eye to a whole new world that most people, I would say, in Iowa don't really get to see. When I started, I'll be honest, it was quite strange. These things people were wearing just didn't seem normal to me at all. Iowa's about 2.5 years behind most fashion in the bigger cities, but you know, it's fun. Good-hearted people around there. They take a little longer to catch on with the trends, but so yeah, I just saw these girls come out and they're starting their line and getting into New York Fashion Week, and I always love to see anyone from the Midwest, Iowa especially, that's getting into fashion, breaking out in the Midwest, getting into the big cities. It's very exciting for them and me, and it's great to see them.
Doing some classes, and I got an internship with Emily when she first started Witten. It was like the very beginning. And then after I graduated, she hired me onto her team, and I'm her assistant now. To me, the Witten brand is just like all about empowering women. You can express yourself through any of her pieces. They're just beautiful pieces, and I love seeing what she does and puts together with her line and her story.
So with Emily, I've worked with her on so many photo shoots, and that we've collabed on different looks, and it's just like I was talking about earlier with the designer and the artist, it's like everyone is going towards the same goal, and I feel like that's how Emily and I we've always worked really well together. I haven't really worked with Andre a whole lot. I've done one photo shoot with him a few years ago, but I think that his passion is definitely there. I know that they have the same I think end goal, but I think there's just different routes to get there. So I think what Emily's doing is really focusing, you know, on that end point and really like making a beeline for it. Whereas I think that Andre has different avenues, so it's definitely it's a different approach, but I think both are gonna get them where they want to be. No one does it alone, ever. It's being a true leader is having the power to make other people think that they can lead too. You know, true leaders create other leaders. They don't create followers. So I think that that's kind of a big thing with the fashion industry.
This is what happened. We're asleep. We wake up. We go eat. I'm like, man, the package still isn't here. Like, it's like, this is the same day. It was like, I'm tracking the package on my phone on the app. And I'm like, okay, it's in transit in Brooklyn. The U.S. Postal Service lady comes to my friend Sid's house earlier with a certified piece of mail for him. So I signed for it, thinking that it's the package. It's not the package, it's something for him. I'm like, yo, where's the package? She's like, well, the mail in Brooklyn runs a little bit different. And so later that night, we go eat, we come back, package is there. I think it's just me tying my personality and my design style into what Emily's style is and just kind of meshing it together. There was no rhyme or reason, right? Like, I knew what I wanted, she knew what she wanted, we got together, created something great. There was no, like, blueprint. Like, there ain't no blueprint to this documentary. There ain't no blueprint, right? We're just making something. We're just being creative. I think sometimes when you do art, you almost have to do that to create the greatness, right? Like you can't always have it all thought out. I ain't meet with nobody. I met with Craig, and that's my homeboy. So I'm just like, yo, what's up, Craig? How you doing? Good to see you. I'm in the city. Thank you. I didn't meet with anybody. I didn't have any meetings. A lot of it's been relationship building. No meetings. Like everything's nonchalant. It's not like a meeting. It's like, yo, this is what I do. This is what you do. And if we connect on a level that makes sense, okay, well, let's do something together. And I think more so that's what my vibe is, and it's always been that way. I think that's why I've been so successful at what I've done, because I vibe with certain people in those situations, and they work out. I'm like letting my friends know, yo, this is what I'm doing. In fact, the friends that I've told about it, in regards to this perspective, they're coming tonight to the photo shoot. They know, right? They like, okay, this what you're doing? Okay, we'll be there for you. What you need? You need me to model? Okay, no problem, I got you. You see what I'm saying? So it's that vibe. It's not like, who do you know that I can meet that can help me? Come on, man. Don't need that. Everything's divine intervention. Everything happens on its own time. There's can't twist people's arms. I've learned that the hard way. You can't, no matter how many meetings you have, they have to want it better than you do. And that's how things happen. And if they don't, then they don't happen.
Said, let's go, let's go, let's go. Andre is the man, the myth, the legend that helped me ever do my first ever flyers for my party as a DJ, because I started as a DJ in Iowa City. And how I know Andre, he was motivating me to push forward. He motivated me to continue the nightlife. He motivated me to push forward and make Iowa City a better place for entertainment.
My name is Nick Neutrons. I'm a producer, DJ from New York, and I'm rocking New Perspective because my homie Dre of Born Leaders United, he is a visionary, man. He's really got us all on a new perspective, and you know, he's really inspiring. I'm super inspired that he's out here with us, and it's been a party, man. It's been a movie ever since he showed up, man.
So I've taken this staple workwear piece, the pencil skirt, it's been around for decades, and I'm elevating it in a way so that they can feel credible and also incredible at the same time. And there's nothing wrong with having both of those covered. I have a tendency to really work myself up with things like this. I put a lot of pressure on myself. So I just need to remind myself that she's just another person. Like, I have to forget about the whole devil wears Prada mentality. Sure, those editors exist. Hopefully she's not one of them. If she is, I'll learn how to deal with it by interacting with her. The bittersweet part about this, like coming here, is you realize, or at least I have realized, like, it's easy to be a big fish in a small pond in Iowa. Like, it's kind of I don't know, it's like interesting or something different people aren't used to if you're in fashion. When you come here, like, everyone's doing it. Like, we just saw someone with a giant rack of clothes walking down the street. We went to the fabric place, there's 20 designers there, and so it's like you really realize the magnitude of, like, trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve and how hard it is.
Going back and seeing those guys for me was special. I I think they would say the same thing too, just being able to see someone like myself progress. You gotta think, like, from where I come from, though, no one's ever done anything remotely close to anything that I've done. So my story, my testimony, and people seeing me do these things, it makes it believable that they can do it too, you know? That's what underlying everything that I've ever done, that's what you gotta understand. It's believable. I can do that if I really put my work in. I can go, I can become something. That's what's special. We're gonna create these pieces, we're gonna go to New York, we're gonna showcase these pieces. We actually did that. So kudos to us for that. But afterwards, the longevity of that, you know, it died, right?
So since we got back from New York, I think it took about a week or so where New Perspectives kind of took a back burner. I had an event coming up, Andre had an event coming up, and then reached back out to Andre and kind of was asking him, you know, do you want to work on a marketing plan for this? Because essentially at that point now we had a month to figure out what is our production plan and how are we going to market this so that it makes sense, and so that we can actually try to generate some revenue.
Ultimately, I think Emily's passion was still like in the project, but my passion was gone. So it was like, you know, I didn't want to give her like 50% or something, you know, and I wanted to give it 100%, but it just didn't work out. We had a string of text messages that we started send each other, like, oh, can you meet? Nope. Can you meet? Nope. Can you talk? Nope. Can you talk at this time? Nope. Missed call. Missed call.
Got him on the phone last week and we kind of talked through it. I think more than anything, we both kind of said our piece as far as clearly the tension that was kind of building up between us and why we each thought that was and how to move forward. And so, you know, I still was saying, I think this could work. You know, we just have to commit to it more or less, and I don't think Andre had those exact feelings.
When I see something that makes me feel a little bit uneasy about doing it and there's some tension, it sucks the blood out of the project and makes it like, this might work, this might not work. Now we're trying to figure it out, we're running up against time. It's like, okay, how do we make this work and make it work within time and then like get people to work for us and do it all at the same time? That's frustrating. And it was frustrating for her, and it was well frustrating for me. It's just like, yo, I'm gonna put that in the back burner. I don't wanna think about this today. Move on with my life.
So I had to make a decision. And so I thought at that point the collaboration should be over with. Kind of expressed that to Andre, and that's kind of where we're at with it.
Yeah, it is bittersweet. But it happens, man. It happens to a lot of different people. You can think about music collaborations that didn't work out, right? Two great artists get together and try to make an album. You know, let's look at Jay-Z and R. Kelly, for example, or let's look at Jay-Z and Kanye West, for example, right now. Two great artists, but due to, you know, creative constraints, things just didn't work.
Working with Andre has left me perplexed. That's the only way I can put it, because we went into this with this very positive feeling and went out of it not having that feeling. But one of the things I always pitch is that the fashion industry is cutthroat. It's brutal, it's tough. You have to be resilient and bulletproof to kind of get up every day and be part of it. So despite the kind of disparities or the differences that Andre and I have had, I'm not discouraged.
But the true message and the true meaning is like, this guy's from my neighborhood. This guy's from our city. This guy's doing amazing things. This guy helps people. Like, I help people every single day. Like, it's not just like something I'm making up. This guy's authentic. The brand is authentic. Like, everything that I say I'm doing, like, I can't be out here saying I'm a born leader and I'm not actually leading, right? No one supports anybody like that. But I actually be doing the work. That's what's special. That's the